COVID-19 has taken a toll on our day-to-day life, and students of this generation suffer its consequences. As the world shuts down, everything was at a halt, so as education. This has caused major disruptions to the learning system. In the rise of the pandemic, where big changes were settled to maintain learners safe from the outside world and continue their studies in the comfort of their own homes. But on what grounds? Some learners may have been unfazed by this alteration. But how about the others? Even if you were from the highest or lowest of ranks, what level of education you are in, kindergarten, grade school, high school, or college, you are bound to face some drawbacks as we switch to a new learning modality known as online distance learning. But it has come to the attention of the public that many have been struggling to adjust to this new method. Yes, being exposed to this new method can be tough, and it can greatly influence a student's performance and well-being. But it is up to us how we face such challenges. As a student myself, this pandemic has taught me many things. I have taken many strategies to make my learning as comfortable as possible, since we rely more on ourselves right now. For me, studying is actually much more enjoyable now. I get to control my own time and study at my own pace without anybody interfering with it. The things that I learned from adapting to this is that self-discipline and being responsible is some of the key factors on making sure your performance will not diminish. But not everyone will experience the same. Some may struggle to learn on their own. They are known as slow learners. It is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a disadvantage since now there are more deadlines to meet, and it can cause them to not participate much in class or pass outputs in time. And without much interaction with teachers, it can slow their learning development. Some poverty-stricken learners face difficulties like the lack of necessary materials to accommodate the students on their studies, like gadgets and a stable Wi-Fi connection. Not everyone can afford such things, especially with the given circumstances. Learners who encounter these problems cannot participate in their online classes, and it will greatly affect their grades. Another is the increasing workloads of students. A great example of this is the recent academic break protest led by the students of the St. Louis University of Baguio. Due to the overwhelming schoolworks, many learners were mentally exhausted, and some, unfortunately, has taken their own life. One student even said in an interview, "Attending school has become more about meeting deadlines than actually learning." This is quite saddening to hear because it beats the actual purpose of learning. When answering, students answered the activities straight away while scanning the lessons to get them done faster. This behavior just shows how students deal with many workloads to make sure they pass everything on time. Add to this is another statement of the student that they are forced to skip meals and sacrifice hours of sleep to meet deadlines. This displays that not only our mental health is affected, but also our physical health. The fact that learners are neglecting their own needs just shows how much this pandemic has made students suffer in their years of schooling. Other students, on the other hand, may resort to cheating. With the internet, any information can be searched with one click. This can be done during a test or answering activities. Another is students copying each other's works. Although this cheating cannot be controlled completely, it is so unfair to those who study their hardest. But the worst of these are learners who neglect their studies altogether. Procrastinating and cramming are both behaviors that these students usually share. They postpone their studies and mostly answer them the day before the deadline, in which results are rushed and activities that have little to no effort at all. This will undeniably result in low grades. It is evident that everything leans more on the negative side. But what about the positive side, you may ask? This online learning made other learners' self-discipline skills upscale and give them a sense of responsibility. Surely, this will surely prepare them a lot for their future. They taught themselves to prioritize their obligations and avoid any discrepancies. Making sure that these behaviors prevail can help them more in achieving their goals in life. This pandemic affected students' lives in the positive and negative ways, but the fact that we have this kind of experience shall make us stronger individuals. Albert Einstein once said, "You need the experience to gain wisdom." Learning to cope and adapt to this type of learning is already a big achievement, and we must never forget that. Things may have taken a toll for the worst, but we must continue to strive forward and be the best version of ourselves. These past 2 years of studying online may have been difficult, but we must carry on together with the lessons we have learned along the way. For it is up to our actions today on what our future is going to be. I'm Elixhia Dhane Talavera from Tayug National High School, Tayug, Pangasinan. Thank you.